My name is Claire Sands. I work at a company called Postmates, which, if you're not familiar, you should be. See me after for a promo code, just kidding. But we're an on-demand gig platform, kind of like Uber or Lyft, but rather than transporting people, we transport goods like donuts. Not usually on a catalog, though. So my role touches really every part of the business, but at the heart of it, my top priority is being the internal champion and advocate for over 350,000 independent contractors who choose to earn on our platform. And that's a job that I don't take lightly, and it's a pretty big task. It's a mobile workforce, so it's important that their experience is represented inside HQ. When we take a look at who these gig workers are, and often probably a lot of your frontline workers, we're talking about traditionally underrepresented, underserved communities. And these are communities that corporations and society in general haven't always done right by. So as we build the future of work, we've got to get it right. So often, the people building the products, the policies, the procedures for these frontline workers and just workers in general look very different than who that worker actually is. And so the onus is on all of us in this room in leadership to bridge that gap and make sure that we're building a more equitable, inclusive future for everybody. So how do you do that? I don't know. I can share what I tried to do. So the first step is understanding who your workforce actually is. So I've been at Postmates 18 months, and step one was implementing literally every kind of feedback loop. Tech likes to say that they're data-driven, but we didn't really have any context around who this workforce was. So surveys, focus groups, everything. And what we found was, for the most part, the people earning on our platform didn't necessarily grow up wanting to be a courier. They're doing this because they need money, they need it now, and so proud that we have this platform that allows for that. But it's not enough, and we can and should do better. People like John Daly in the center there, who has 2 master's degrees and had a life event that took him out of the full-time workforce, and life is really, really hard. So companies can and should elevate that experience and make it better. One thing that stood out to us was that a significant portion of the people on our platform were actively looking for full-time work outside of the gig economy. That makes sense to me because I know, at least for Postmates, on average, people are only on our platform between 3 and 5 hours per week. They're doing this in a very supplemental fashion. It's transitional income. And 72% of respondents of a particular survey had a target job in mind. They had at least some of the skills to get that target job, and they were dedicated to the job search, willing to spend upwards of 20 hours per week. But they needed help with things like resume review, mock interviews, LinkedIn review. So we wanted to step in, and that's what we did. But here I am, that's me, trying to figure out, like, okay, I have the data, and I know who the workers are, I know why they're doing it, but it would seem at the surface that investing in upward mobility opportunities for this workforce to get off of our platform is very counterintuitive to our business model. And that's because it is. So trying to figure out how to get buy-in for this was a challenge, but just felt that it was the right thing to do. So that's what we did. Nike, just do it. I was very lucky to have the support of leadership pretty early on. I'm on a team of 1 and have a dotted line to the C-suite, which has been very helpful. But once I got the green light to build out an upward mobility platform, I was like, shit, I don't know how to do that. Okay, cool. But thankfully, there are experts that do know how to do that. So we're based in San Francisco. We partnered with an organization there called JVS, who was very gracious to go on this journey with us. I didn't know what I was doing. They'd never partnered with a gig company. So we just dug in. We hosted a breakfast orientation and just started really small. And we ended up building out this program and funding this program called Search Accelerator. It's a 36-hour, 2-week intensive program, really designed for people who have that target job in mind. They have some of the skills, but they just need a little bit of polishing to get there. In going through this first year of partnership, it was really important that we were flexible with our partner, with our couriers, with each other, because this had literally never been done before, especially for a gig company to invest in this type of development program. It was really scary, but there were a lot of key learnings just in even how to talk about the program to our couriers who were kind of skeptical, like, wait a minute, like, you're gonna provide this opportunity for me to get off the platform. But I'm happy to report that in our first year, we had a lot of success. We ended up just in San Francisco getting 30 people through that Job Search Accelerator program. 6 of them have already accepted full-time jobs and their dream jobs. And these are like massive opportunities, like this guy, Amir, who accepted his dream job as a data analyst at Airbnb starting at $73,000 a year. Like, that's life-changing. But there's no blueprint for this, which is equal parts exciting and terrifying. It just really depends on the moment on how I'm feeling in that spectrum. But right now I'm really excited about it because we get to decide what the future of work looks like and what these opportunities look like. And like, I cannot imagine anything better. Like, you have the power to actually change people's lives. And I'm gonna get weepy, whew. But the future, at least at Postmates in the immediate, looks like we just entered year 2 of that Job Search Accelerator program in the Bay Area, expanded it to Southern California, are launching soon in New York, Chicago, Miami. Also partnered with edX on an e-learning program, quick plug. So we created a course catalog specific to the learning needs. I'm a millennial, I like memes. So why are we doing all of this? Well, because it's the right thing to do. And we believe in that long-term sustainable business model. Like, I don't really know how this is going to work out, but especially as we move closer to automation, it just feels like something that is a responsibility of employers. So putting all of the pieces together here and going back to the talent framework, I think, at least for Postmates, like, we're hitting a couple of things at once, and it's a little bit different, but one of those is corporate culture. As more and more attention is rightfully so turned to the gig economy, this is something that even employees at HQ are excited about and proud of. But measuring success is really hard. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it and building it as I go and hoping that it works. But I think that that's a challenge that a lot of us face. I can say that when Amir got that job at Airbnb and he sent me an email that said, "Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be a Postmates customer instead of a courier," it felt a lot like success. So I'm gonna leave y'all with just 3 things. 1, take the time to understand who your workforce is. 2, invest in diversity at all levels, close that gap, particularly at the leadership level. And then 3, don't let the fear of the unknown hold you back. We get to build this thing as we go, and all of you have a seat at the table, so make sure that you're bringing others along. Thank you.